Okay, I think
Is this like a
that's my
sleeping
portion.
bag?
It is. It's a
Basically a
sleeping pouch.
sleeping
So
bag.
instead of swaddling your kid, you put them in the pouch, and it's supposed to be safer.
Ergo pouch.
It's an Australian company.
Yeah, of course they will know. The Australians will know how to make a good pouch. With all those kangaroos over there.
That's the most ridiculous thing
Yeah.
I've ever heard.
I think so. I think someone looked at the kangaroo and how safe and secure and happy that baby kangaroo is inside the pouch, and we're like, we need that shit for kids. And I agree, because it's
Yeah.
cute as hell. And I feel like my baby is just safe. Just safe in here.
Wow. Huh?
Ba, ba,
Okay.
do, do,
That's right.
ba, ba.
Hit it. Ay, ba.
Oh shit. What's up, guys?
Hello.
I'm Alano.
I'm Khanya.
And in today's video, we're doing baby clothes and we're talking about how we got here.
Okay.
So it's story time.
It's a story
It's
time.
a story time.
By the way, if there was ever a video where you guys were going to see my nipples, it's this one. I'm
Mine
wearing yours. Yeah, his as well. I'm wearing a bra that is fit for my old body, which was flat-chested, and right now that cup, all it does is cover my nipples, if even, right?
It's the perks of pregnancy.
Oh, okay.
For me.
Oh, okay. By the way, all of this is newborn stuff. Our kid's going to be born at the beginning of winter, which means we need more clothes than if they're being born in summer. So we had moved to East London just for some health reasons, and we just thought it was better to be here during this time whilst I figure out what was going on. And I kind of, not that I was in denial about my health, but I was kind of confused because I was never someone that was ill.
Yeah.
Like, I was very, very healthy, very sporty for most of my 20s. Things started going, well, at least the first half of my 20s, and things started going downhill from about 25, 26, somewhere there. I would actually say maybe sooner than that, but I just didn't register.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You started to really feel like sick and tired and not having a lot of energy.
Yes.
Maybe like a year before we got married.
Yes.
I think that's when it really started to become obvious.
Yeah, I think the year we got married, because that was when I was bedridden for a few months even. And it's like not even in like a, I just was tired and couldn't get out of bed. I was literally bedridden. I couldn't do anything. Could barely eat, nothing.
Spent about a year as well testing.
Yes.
Like just going to hospital after hospital.
Yeah, specialist
Trying
after
to figure out
specialist.
like what the problem is.
Audiologists, emergency rooms,
Cardiologist.
cardiologists, who was the other one? The occupational therapist,
Even
and
check
then
your
the
gut health as
functional
well.
medicine doctor. Yeah, so we did a whole lot of
Yeah,
things.
a whole bunch of shit.
And
It was a
then-
difficult time, to be honest with you.
But we started getting a few answers, right? We saw that I was immunocompromised. Not immunocompromised, I had no immunity. Everyone hates the fact that our child's gonna be black, by the way. I think it's so cute.
You love it. I was
love
also
it.
like, I wasn't too sure.
Were you like,
But now that it's here,
I think it's gonna be so
yeah, I
cute.
quite like it as well.
So after a bunch of testing, we started getting a few answers as to what could be going on. One of them being diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and then the other one was potentially having something to do with my heart, right? From blood tests as well as other tests, it was like, we need to start looking into that very seriously. By the way, this is all affecting me psychologically as well, and Alano, because I went from being a very active, ambitious, always up, never really needed sleep, very upbeat person, but like between the two of us, I'm very glass half full, pep in my step, anything and everything can be fun, and then he's more of the like, I'm a realist, pessimist, brooding artist.
I'm not a realist, pessimist, brooding artist. I'm very practical. I think that's sort of my vibe.
I'm not impractical, so.
Yeah, true. I'm practical in a way that's different to how you're practical.
Oh, okay. So I started going on and saw a psychiatrist or whatever. Started going on medications to see what could make things better. I would say that was when we had the second dip. So we had a rock bottom, things started getting better, we got help, and then the medicine just took us straight back to
Yeah, it was a very, very difficult
very,
time.
very difficult time. But during the uphill, before things got bad, we were on an uphill and we were like, okay, things are getting better, more chilled. Maybe it's time for us to start look at family planning and all of that. So we made the decision in July that we are going to definitely start a family. So we were like, okay, so there's two ways about this. Both of them could take years because we don't know. And we started looking into adoption, booked our classes, did all that kind of stuff. This was all mid to end July. And then I went on prenatals And I think we just started not being as careful with our, what's the word for this thing?
Boinking.
No, no. What is wrong with you? You're a child. Oh my God. No, contraceptive.
Contraceptives.
This man.
This baby's foot's gonna be smaller than
That's
my
not
finger.
a foot. That's for the hands.
Is this the mittens?
Yes.
Ah, I thought this was for the feet.
No.
Now these are for the feet.
Yes, socks. So I'm nauseous. I've got lumps and pain and all this stuff in my boobs. My period is on a 40-something, sometimes 50-something day cycle. And it's time to call in the specialist again. So now I book for a gynecologist. And I'm just like looking up the symptoms, and we are realizing that it is because of the medication that I was put on, and we can't get a hold of the psychiatrist. So now I'm kind of left to my own, and that's very negligent because for the first time I really experienced depression during that time. I'm someone that gets more anxiety, something like that. And it was the medication. So we decided that we're gonna go off of this medication, and I'm supposed to wean myself off, and I went cold turkey. That's how bad things were. I was just like, I will rather take the withdrawals than go another day living like this. And that's what we did. So now I'm off the medication, I'm going through withdrawals, and I book for my gynecologist, and it's in like 2 or 3 weeks. I've got the lumps, I've got the inconsistent bleeding. Yeah, I'm like bleeding a little bit here and there, but it's not really a period. We figure out what it is later, thanks to the gynecologist. And then I get there and I explain everything to him. He's very upset with my psychiatrist. It's very negligent, very bad. And then in the meantime, we do the usual at the gynecologist, like your pap smear and whatever, and then he goes in for a scan. And he stops in his tracks. By the way, I'm by myself when I do this because I just don't want the drama of having anyone else with me when the bad news comes. And I just want to process things myself. I don't want to like have to deal with anyone else's emotions during that time. He does his scan and then he's like, girl, what's that? And I'm like, it's a cyst, isn't it? It's a cat. Like, what is it? Just tell me. And he's just like, I think you guys might have achieved what you were trying to achieve. And I think you might be 6 weeks along. But to confirm, we're going to have to do bloods. But he does all the measuring. He does everything. He's like, I don't know, sis, that looks like a baby to me. And then I'm like, I just had my 9-year anniversary. When I tell you I was drinking, I mean I was drinking. So now I'm nervous. And our 1-year wedding anniversary is coming up this weekend. And we were planning on also just going wild and out. But at least now we know. So then we go in, we do the test, the blood test. And obviously it comes out positive. And now, before I go to the labs, because I'm going to go to the labs by myself because they're close, I get into the car and I call my mom and I'm in stitches. I am laughing. I'm so relieved. It's not the worst case scenario. It's not what we thought it could have been from my symptoms. There's no permanent damage from the medications, things that can affect my fertility, nothing like that. And we're just laughing at the fact that I have pregnancy. My diagnosis is pregnancy, which is great. And then I call Alano thereafter, and then I'm like, you're not going to believe the session that I just had. And I think he was
emotional up and down.
Yeah. I think he was a little bit nervous because he knew I was going in, and we had discussed what the potential outcomes could be. And you know, it was like, damn, okay, let's see.
Just stressing out and being anxious and making plans for things that we think it could be. Like just generally not being like in a good headspace.
Sir, please take the mittens off your fingers.
No, like the minute you said that you were pregnant, I was like just overcome by like the most spiritual calmness. Like I just felt instantly calm. But then on top of it also, that's a crazy thing to hear when you think that the news is I have like cancer. Or something like that, you know?
Cancer, yeah.
And I was calm for about a week or two, just really calm, just like, okay, we have a baby coming, I want this baby, like we need to get things together so that when this baby comes, like everything is perfect, you know.
That same week, unfortunately, I'm sick, right? So my health has been terrible in general, but I'm sick. I'm like, this could be COVID sick. I'm congested, I can't breathe, and now I have to go cold turkey on all of my medications, and part of it was withdrawals as well, so my immune system's just like, well, fuck you too, girl. Who can play that game? And I honestly I wasn't surviving.
Isn't this just the cutest thing in the world, man? That's so fucking cute. Oh my god, she's gonna be in this thing like a little teddy. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Oh my god.
Isn't that the cutest
This
thing
is
ever?
the cutest thing in the world. Woolies.
Woolies,
Come
yeah.
on, Woolies. Come on, Woolies. Sorry.
So then now I'm like, I sit up, I'm sleeping on the sofa upright, and then I wake up and I just immediately know something's wrong. I go to the bathroom and it's blood. And I'm like, fuck. Between the drinking, the withdrawals, everything like that, I think we're losing this baby.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then I call to Alano. He's completely asleep. I'm awake pretty early. It's on a Sunday simply because I can't sleep properly, whatever. And I'm like, there's blood in my underwear. And then he tries to, I think, first of all, he struggles to wake up. So sometimes he can say things that are like nonsensical in the morning. But also, I think he's trying to not buy into the panic.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you're trying not to buy into the
Yeah,
panic.
because it's like,
So he's just
I don't
like,
want to be like worst case scenario, like right from the jump.
yes, but he also didn't see what I saw. I only showed him a picture. I took a photo of it in case I had to send to the gynae or the ER.
The first thing I did was go onto Google.
And then he Googled, yeah, like what could this be? It could be implantation, it could be this, it could be that, whatever. But implantation is usually like in the first 2 to 4 weeks, somewhere there. We're on week 6, according to my app and the measurements from the gynecologist. So I'm like, you're not helping. I'm going to a midwife for a scan. I don't know what you'll be doing, but that's what I will be doing. Then he was like, geez, okay, yeah, no, let's go then. And I found a midwife in the same area that we are in, and we went for a scan. And she was like, look, it's in your cervix. It's not you can see there's blood in your cervix. It looks like it might just be old blood from implantation or whatever. There's nothing that I can see inside of your actual uterus. Baby looks good, looks fine. I'll even give you guys some pictures. And then she was like, what you can do is go on progesterone. It kind of makes the pregnancy stick for your own peace of mind. But there's no reason because there's no blood in your uterus. This baby's healthy. And I was like, sign me up.
Yeah.
Let's do progesterone.
It was implantation blood, basically.
Yeah.
So
just
Google
old.
was right, but I was instantly happy when we went.
Me too.
Because then, I don't know, there's just such a comfort being able to not just think that everything is fine, but to
no.
see it, right?
Yes. Do you remember this? He's like, we're going to give her a complex if we keep dressing her in all this blue, because everyone's going to be like, oh, baby boy, baby boy. And then he was like, this is the blanket I want. It's blue. He chose a blue
It's
blanket.
green, Khanya.
It's mint.
It's mint.
Yeah.
Yeah, mint is
It's mint
closer to
blue.
green.
It's a mint blue.
I've never seen a freaking blue mint before. Let me put a blue mint in my food. No, it's green, number one.
Here's something you guys might not know about being on progesterone. It sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks.
Day 1.
I didn't even take it, but I know it sucks.
It sucks.
Just looking at Khanya, I was like, God damn, this sucks. This sucks.
And by the way, I'm still going through withdrawals. I'm still
fuck.
sick. So
Yeah, because, yeah, shit, hey.
yeah.
All these things happen so quickly after each other.
No, not after. On top
On
of
top
each
of each
other.
other, actually, yeah.
So then my
You're right, you were still, yeah, it was terrible. Like, we got off to a pretty rough start, hey.
You
Now that I'm
think?
thinking about it.
It was terrible.
That's the one thing that we didn't, or at least I didn't consider. When you started getting sick, right? You don't realize just how psychological and emotional
Chronic illnesses.
chronic illness is, because you essentially started to become way more anxious and like
Yes.
pretty depressed, to the point where we couldn't just tackle with the physical illness that you were going through. We now had to see a psychologist to help with medication around the emotions that's attached to
Actually, that's when I stopped seeing my psychologist because she was saying some crazy dumb shit to me.
the psychologist. You
Yes.
stopped seeing, but we still had to see the psychiatrist. Like, we still had to get the medication and whatnot.
My OB spoke to the psychiatrist and she was like, oh, she must just let's not put her on anything, which again was negligent, because she was like, your anxiety is so severe that you need to be on medication ASAP, and like not these small little doses either. And that's why my symptoms were as severe as they were, because I was so.
And this was before you were pregnant. by the
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
So excuse me.
Whoopsie. Bless you.
So for her to just be like, yeah, we won't put her on anything, knowing my symptoms, knowing what I'm going through, I also thought it was very negligent, which is
Yeah.
why I'm getting a new psychiatrist.
Just safe in here.
Wow. Huh?
Ba, ba,
Okay.
do, do,
That's right.
ba, ba.
Hit it. Yay, but
Oh shit.
So just to kind of wrap it up, on progesterone, then all of the pregnancy symptoms came. I was nauseous. I actually vomited a few times day one on progesterone. I started prenatal vitamins, and you know, if you're vomiting, you're not keeping them down, so you have to kind of so I had to take the progesterone in the morning, vitamins at night, so I could keep them down.
Yeah, you got all of them at the same time.
Yes.
It was,
And I'm still going through
Yeah,
withdrawals.
it was all of them. Like literally, you're looking online for the pregnancies, like the symptoms, and it's like,
Tick, tick.
like these are the things that you could have. Like different. Khanya was just like, yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
And it was only for 2 weeks, but it was the most difficult 2 weeks of my life, psychologically, physically. Like, it was just terrible.
Yeah.
And then,
But you got through it.
yeah, did our first trimester risk assessment between week 12 and 13, and everything was good. Got some more pics of bubs. Then saw our gynae again thereafter. Everything was good. Got more pics of bubs. Then we did our 20-week fetal anomaly scan. Everything came out good. We're not high risk for anything. Then we did our diabetic one, the gestational diabetes one, which took hours. Good. Every time you see the gynecologist, you do give them a urine sample. They do check for preeclampsia and all these other things. And again, nothing's been flagged.
So far, everything has been.
The only thing that's been a concern is that I wasn't gaining any weight, and sometimes I was losing weight. And losing weight in first trimester is normal because of the nausea, but in second it's not. And I was trying to explain that I was going through withdrawals, which made me retain a lot of water, and I bloated so bad that I was getting, like, you can still see some of them, stretch marks everywhere.
It was like overnight too.
Overnight.
Yeah,
Didn't have it. The next day I was just full of water, and my
that.
skin was like, oh girl.
Getting to a place now where we're starting to force.
I have to force
feed now, yeah.
Yeah, and then also now I have to track my calories
Yeah.
because I'm eating like a 12-year-old. I'm doing like 1,200 calories maximum a day.
So we're at that place now where.
So that's the struggle now.
Yeah.
But otherwise, everything else, baby's actually longer. Her femur scores in the 87th percentile and her weight in the 96th or 7th percentile.
A big baby.
Yeah, so it's a big baby. She's doing good. It's just I need to make sure that I'm doing good.
Yeah. Part of the things that we're starting to plan now is like our baby moon.
Yes.
And then just like
more dates,
more
time together.
activities, things that we can just do together that isn't about like me, Khanya, and the baby, but just me and Khanya.
Yes.
The baby will always be included because she comes everywhere with us now. But also to just focus on like the individuals that we are, in addition to the parents that we are now as well.
Yeah, which I think is also part of our philosophy for just parenting or our relationship in general. But other than that, that's how we found out that we were pregnant, guys. It was scary, it was exciting, it was a relief.
It was unexpected.
It was unexpected.
Which is weird because we started buying baby stuff before we even thought we were pregnant. Before you even went to the gynecologist, we were already buying baby stuff, and still we were surprised.
Because so part of the plan was we've now decided that we can either fall pregnant or adopt. So that includes getting the medical checkups, making sure we've got the best medical aid for pregnancy, because there is also a waiting period for medical aid before they allow you to take out any maternity benefits. So it was things like that we were prepping for, buying the big things, and bada bing, bada boom.
Here we are.
Here we are.
So thank you so much for watching with us, guys.
Yes.
Yes, that's been fun.
It has been
Now,
fun.
Let's go get these clothes cleaned.
And get some food. I haven't had breakfast.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.